Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this tonight. It's such an honor to host all of you, and I'm grateful. Good evening. Let me know where you're joining me from, please. As usual. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? What's going on in your corner? I know God is faithful. We just know that God is faithful. No matter what is going on, God remains faithful. Thank you. Thank you, Ghana, the UK, Abuja. Thank you. Appreciate you, South Africa. Good evening, everybody, Lagos. Thank you, Anambra State. The UK, thank you, Lagos. Good evening, Tanzania. Good evening. It's an honor to be serving you tonight. And I'm so grateful to the Lord. Spain. Good evening. USA. Okay. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell. I'm doing well, thank you. To tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. My opening remarks tonight. Welcome to Navigate with FFA, Akure, United States of Akure. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so much. Lauren, Cameroon. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Oh, sure. Oh, thank you. I appreciate all of you. So, good evening again. My opening remarks tonight is very simple. Don't mistake love for proximity. Do not mistake love for proximity. Sometimes, love means keeping you afar. So you must learn to, thank you, I'm reading all thy distractions. Thank you, I look fresh. You're making me blush. Don't mistake love for proximity. Sometimes for your own mental health, please keep people at a distance. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the compliments and I take them. Do not mistake love for proximity. Sometimes to really show that I love you, I need to put you apart. I need to put you at arm's length. Define. Please learn to define boundaries. Love requires boundaries. Love does not help you to hurt yourself. Yeah. Love does not help you to hurt yourself. If that relationship is hurting you, please think again. Think again. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. You are primary to you. Don't forget, I always say that. Love requires boundaries. Do not mistake proximity for love. Sometimes, true love means stay at a distance so that both of us can be alive and can love. God bless you all. Woo! Tonight is going to be great. Let me say that October 2nd and November 6th, I have a very special coaching stroke mentoring program. If you go on my website, you can register. Some people have been asking, okay, what about a payment plan? Yes, you can pay twice. But you see, you must learn to invest time, money, and attention. You must create time for yourself. There's a portal of knowledge that you don't have that you need to get. That's why it's important for you to make sure that you have a coach. I have a mentoring program, and it is the template. For 6 hours, 2 days, October 2nd and November 6th, I will be coaching and mentoring you. People have been registering. You want to jump on that? heart and seize the moment. Anywhere you are in the country, in the world, it's a virtual event. October 2nd. Just go on my website, www.funkefelix-Adejumo, and register for the template. You're going to thank me later for that. So tonight I have me as my guests tonight. Ayomitide Isaac to be a great time. I'll tell you something, it's going to be a great time. Thank you everybody for being a part of this. Hi, Ayomitide.
Yes, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, beautiful.
Yes. Thank you, ma.
Looks so lovely.
Thank you, ma. Thank you
How's
so
it going?
very well, ma. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great honor, and I do not take it for granted at all. Thank you, ma. I'm grateful.
You're welcome. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Navigate family is a global family from around the world, Japan, Tanzania. Talk about, and we're all here tonight to listen to you. So, we hit the ground running. Navigate with FFA, just like the name implies, is where I just encourage my get to pull back the curtains, because I know that success leaves clues. How did you get here? Stuff like that. And that's what we're going to be having tonight, the next 50 minutes or thereabout. Who is Ayomitide? Outside of marriage, outside, let's go to the remotest past. Let's hear you, because I know that you didn't just land greatness. Okay, Ayo.
All right. Again, thank you, Ma, for the privilege, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Navigate family, for having me here. And I believe what I would share tonight would be helpful to young ladies who are coming up there and to people who are coming up there. And we'll all get there in Jesus' name. Okay, so I am Ayomitide, like mommy has said. Ayomitide. I am from a family of 4 girls. I happen to be the third born. I have 2 senior sisters ahead of me, and I have 1 younger sister who is 11 years apart. She's 11 years my younger. I was the third born for almost 11 years, 10 years, 9 months, so almost 11 years. And I was enjoying all the last born, but then, God decided, God decided to add to the family. And yes, she's how old is she now? She's 25 now as well. So I'm grateful to God for that. So, okay, about me, the remotest part, the things that many people do not know about me. I'll try as much as possible to be as vulnerable as I can. Because one thing my husband has taught me over the years is authenticity. He values authenticity. All right. So, like I said, born into a family, 4 girls. I was born with, would I say, a silver spoon. My parents had everything going for them. They were doing fine. I mean, fine financially. I did not know the meaning of lack. I didn't know what it meant to struggle. I didn't know what it meant to need anything. I was born into having everything that I wanted. And because I was last born for quite a long time, my dad really loved me. And he gave me everything I wanted. Everything I wanted. Of course, that was to the extreme also, because you don't give a child everything the child wants. You only give a child everything the child needs. But then but God would teach me also with the circumstances that later happened in our lives. But a few years down the line after I was born, everything my parents had was lost. Everything was lost. At first, I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, my dad worked then as a banker with Equatorial Trust Bank. I don't know if many people know it. It was owned by Mike Adenuga of Globacom now. I remember one of those days that one of those Saturdays, my dad took myself and my two senior sisters to work. And we met Mike Adenuga then, and he gave us 100 naira, I think 20 naira notes. He gave us 100 naira each. It was so much money then. And we were so excited, we were happy. So there were people that were even meeting at a very young age. But by the time everything was lost, there was nothing. There was complete zero. Even the furniture in the house, everything was completely gone. There was something my dad got involved in that wiped everything in one day. And this makes me, this now that I am older and I know Christ, it makes me know that any foundation that is not built upon Jesus Christ, the solid rock, is bound to crumble at some point in time. My parents were not believers then. Of course, we identified as Christians, but we were not born again. Nobody was born again. My parents were not born again. Of course, the children they would be having won't be born again. There was nobody to teach us. We just, what religion, when we are feeling forms, what religion is Christian? We are Christian. But there was no depth of understanding. There was no God, as it were, in the picture. So you can imagine when all of that happened, it was later on we began to find God. I think that situation pushed my mom especially to finding God, to knowing God, because now there were many battles that were being fought. There were spiritual battles from left, right, center, everywhere. And on top of that, we were now poor. I never understood up until that time what it meant to be hungry, because I was never hungry. In fact, whenever I heard somebody say they were hungry, I would be wondering, why is this person hungry? They must be poor. I didn't know that even when you are rich, you can decide, you can be hungry. You can, during the day, you can wake up and decide, oh, I'm hungry this morning. There was always food. So there was never a time where I said I am hungry before food came. It was always there. So I felt that if that sensation of hunger came up, it meant you were poor. It meant you could not afford to buy food. So it was until we hit rock bottom that many of these things I began to understand. And it continued like that for a very long time. Places my dad would want to get a job, there would be nothing. They would have promised him, and quarter to just one more interview or just one more person to see, and it will be cancelled, or the person will be fired. So it also made me grow up and also made me understand that there is more to life than the things we see physically. There are battles that are being fought that you would never see with your physical eyes. And then after some time, my dad got something to do, a job in Ghana. So my two senior sisters were now in boarding school, secondary school, and of course, last born, I was the only one at home. I went with my parents to Ghana, and it was in Ghana. It was a contract job, and after the contract job ended, thinking, oh, it will be renewed or he would get something else, there was nothing. It was just like that. So, and we had nothing back in Nigeria to come back home to. So my dad started shuttling between Nigeria and Ghana, whilst my mom and I stayed back permanently. It was there that I have very pleasant memories of Ghana. I love Ghana. Ghana is somewhere I'd like to visit over and over again. I've not been there in over 20 years now. but I have very pleasant memories of Ghana, and I learned a lot there. It was in Ghana when we were living there that I had to help my parents make ends meet. And, there won't be food, and you don't know where another one is coming from. You don't know. And my mom is the kind of person that she would never beg. And God so made it that all we were going through was not reflecting on us. How God did it, I have no idea. How he made it so that when people see you outside, except you tell them what you are dealing with, they wouldn't know. And even if you told them, they would not believe you. God just covered that. He made that so beautiful for us. And at that point in time, we were thinking, okay, what can we do? We have to survive. We have to eat. So she started selling ice water. The ice water, some people knew we were selling ice water, and there was constant light in Ghana at that point in time. So we always had cold water, ice water. We had a fridge, so why not? Let's do something with it. We sold the ice water. There were days that sales were just very slow. And then my younger sister was born, and we had to buy baby food and all of these things, and there was no money. So that was when I started putting the ice water in coolers. This is not pure water now. There was no pure water then. There was nothing like pure water. There was no bottled water. And put the ice water in cooler and go outside where we were living. We were living in a room, not even a room and parlor. It was a room. That was what we could afford. So, and we even owed rent at that point in time. But the landlord was very understanding. I'll go outside, sell the water, and come back home with the money that was made. But there were times where the sales were unusually slow, even with going outside. And knowing the things we needed back home, I would tell myself, I can't go back home with these things inside the cooler. It has to be sold off. And from that time, of course, my mom didn't send me this, but because I knew what was happening back at home, I would put it in, I'll put some in a bowl and oak and take it out to go and oak and sell them. Unfortunately, God will breathe on it and there will be sales. There was a day that we made 8,000 cedis from water. That was the highest we ever made. That it was a Saturday. We were so happy. We were so rejoicing. And all of those things today, I do not look back and think, why did that happen? It taught me life lessons. It taught me also being street smart. It taught me also to read between the lines. It taught me to understand what somebody else is going through. So if I never went through it, I can't tell somebody else I understand what you're going through. Sometimes situations happen to people and someone who is consoling somebody else will be like, I understand. You don't understand. If you've never been there, you don't understand. You can only try to imagine. You can't understand. So if somebody comes to me today and tells me they are hungry and I see they are genuinely hungry, I know what it means to be hungry because I have been there. I have experienced it. And then fast forward, we returned to Nigeria. My mom was like, I can't handle this anymore. Let me go and stay in the midst of my people. Let us go back home. So we came back to Nigeria, and there were times where school fees we couldn't pay. And you know how embarrassing that is for children. Where you have your names called out and told you're sent out, go back home, your parents have not paid. So all of those things happened, and it made me stronger. It made me a better person, and it changed my perspective to life. He gave me a whole new perspective to life and made me understand that whatever position you are in, whatever position of privilege you are in at any point in time, see it as a privilege. It is not a right. There are other people better than you who can be there, but God just chose you. And so we got back to Nigeria, I think around year 2000. And it was from there we got to know winners. My two senior sisters, like I said, were in secondary school. So one of them, who went to FGGC Oyo, our principal then told her, oh, there is a program in my church and I want to invite you. So she invited my sister to the program. So she got home that December and told my mom that there is this program and all of that. We're living in Abule Egba at that time, and of course, winners Otta. The distance was not too much. So my mom decided, okay, let's go. And I stayed back at home. I think then I was like, how old was it? 2000, about 12, 13. So they told me, you stay with your younger sister, who was just about 2 years old, and we will go because we're going there for the first time. We don't even know where this place is. And it's an all night. It was during Shiloh that year 2000, that they came. And then the last day, when they got back, the last day, my mom said, we're all going to go for the last day. So that's how we became members of the Winners family. And it was that last day that I gave my life to Christ for the first time. So that was where my journey into knowing God. Of course, as a little child, I had always been curious. I would be asking my aunties, because we were going to a Christian school. And even back then, if it was not really a Christian school as it were, you would still be taught Bible knowledge. So there was that we were doing in school. We had assembly where you would sing Christian songs and where you would be taught the word of God. So during the challenging times of my parents, when it started, I would be asking my aunties questions like, okay, so they said Jesus is coming back. How are we going to know when he comes back? I really asked a lot of questions, and it was annoying. As a little child, I was very curious because I didn't know these things. So, okay, gave my life to Christ, and then I began from there. Went to later on, I think years down the line, I went to the Bible school to okay, I want to know this God. Who is this God and all of that? And we became full members of the Winners family. So that's how we joined Winners and came into Winners. And of course, the economic situation with my parents continued for quite some time, but it was getting better. Now we were in school. I finished secondary school, got to university, and after university was when I met Pastor.
You have gone into that now. Okay. Let me just go ahead.
was when I met him. I left Uniloring. Okay, our final papers was June. I think May, June, there about 2009. And I came back home that June, July. And then we had moved close to Winners by this time. We're not too far from Winners. Our place to Winners was like 10 minutes drive. So going to church was easy. And whilst in school, I was in the choir, and I was very fervent in church. If you didn't find me in the apartment I rented and I was not in school, I was in church. So it was one of those three places you would find me. I was in either of them. So when I got back home, I decided, oh, thankfully, church is closed. I'm done with school. I would be able to, before my service here starts, every service and all of that, I would be in church. And it was one Sunday like that I had just finished a 3-day fast, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday fast for a life partner. I actually prayed for a life partner because I when I was in school, I left a relationship behind in school, and I wanted God to prove himself. I wanted somebody better. I wanted someone that knew God the way that I desired. I didn't want a man that I'll be pulling to church. I told God everything that I wanted. I told God, I want somebody who is more spiritual than I am. I want somebody who, if I tell, I don't feel like going to church today, would encourage me, not somebody that I am dragging. Because it's easier for the man to help the woman up in spiritual things than for the woman to be the one dragging the man. It will get to the point where the man tells you, please, 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 you make me like that. Just leave me alone. And I know the kind of person I am. I don't have that kind of energy. And knowing the mistakes my parents made of not knowing God, of not, and even when we found God, it was my mom that was the most active in all of these things. I did not want that. I didn't want that kind of situation, that kind of wahala in my life. So I prayed about that. And then the Sunday of that fast, I remember July 26, 2009, Papa said in church that day that some of you will run into your God ordained spouses this week. Then, oh, of course, everybody shouted amen. I shouted amen. Then he said, in fact, some of you will run into those spouses today. So my mind was like, today. I mean, when we go out to our workplaces, when we are moving about, going to places, we can meet our spouses. Today, on Sunday, who meets spouse on Sunday? That was my thought. That was what I was thinking. Who is going to meet a spouse on Sunday in church? Okay. And then before I went home that day, I decided to go to Secretariat to see one of the pastors there. It was where I was waiting to see them because there was so much protocol at the office area. They didn't want, who are you coming to see? This is that. And by the time I got there, where I was answering all the questions, who are you here to see, was when Pastor Isaac came. And then was like, who do you want to see? And I told him. So he said, no, I would see you. I would see you. So when I was going home, I was wondering, was that Pastor Isaac I saw? Is it the one? Is it not the one? Is he? And then he had said, okay, see me on Wednesday. Are you coming to church on Wednesday? I said yes. So he said, see me again on Wednesday. So I was not too certain at the time. I had seen them in pictures, but up close and yes, up close, I wasn't too certain. It looks like he's the one. I don't know whether he's the one. But Wednesday again, we met, we exchanged numbers, and that was how. And that's how do I hear today.
That was how your story landed.
Yes. So that's how we got here today. We got in a relationship, and months down the line, the next year, like I don't think it wasn't up to 2 years, definitely. Then we got married December of 2010. So and my love for business, I want to move a bit now to my love for business. If we backtrack a bit, remembering that I had to sell ice water. We made ice cream too at those times, and we sold the ice cream as well. And then there were times where the situation was so severe that the clothes we had used, of course, we couldn't even buy new clothes. It was second-hand clothes we were buying, or hand-me-downs that we got. But then when the situations were really severe, those second-hand clothes that we bought, now they will be third-hand or fourth-hand, I would carry them and go and sell them outside.
Wow.
So because we had to survive. At this point in time as well, my mom started trading. She would come to Nigeria, buy lace, buy Ankara, buy these things, and come to Ghana to sell them. So I was being left alone with my younger sister from like the age of 12. And I would cater for her, take care of her, because my mom had to go on that trip anyway. If not, we wouldn't eat. And then she would come back, sell those things for some time. The profits was what we were using to get by. So all that business knowledge, those things that we were doing, I think it just remained inside of me. I saw an opportunity with just about anything. And then when I was going to get married and God would bless me with my husband, is someone who studied business management in school. So sometimes he would tell me, this is not how to go about a business. This is how to go about a business. You need to have a business plan. You need to do this. It has to be done this way. And I'm grateful to God that he supports me in these things and is not against that, oh, you're a pastor's wife, why are you doing this thing? There is not one time that I have been pressured, because people ask me, how do you balance being a pastor's wife with being in business and all of these things? And I tell them that I am not under pressure. The husband I'm married to does not put me under pressure to do anything. He trusts me, he believes in me, he knows that I love God. So if there are church programs I can't attend, for instance, I am not pressured to attend. So if there gets to any, if there's any service that he tells me that there's a service going on and this service I want you to be there, then I know that I must really be there, because he is not the kind of person who will tell me, oh, we are all going to church today. We are all, no. He's not. He takes his position of authority and responsibility in the home. And I am not burdened by the fact that he is a pastor. So as a pastor's wife, be involved in this, be doing that, no. And he tells me, okay, if this is what you want to do, as long as it is not against what he stands for, then go ahead and do it. And I think many pastors also need to hear this, because I've had pastors' wives tell me, ask me questions like, do I have to go for every church service? Must I be in every church program? Or this morning I woke up and I told my husband I could not make the prayer, and he insisted I must go. I'm beginning to get tired. And then you hear such wives telling you that, oh, my husband is comparing us to so and so and so and so. And these people you are comparing your own wife with, or your family with, did not get there in one day. You see many people from afar. You really don't know what is going on within. And then you now start saying, oh, this person, they are like this, they are like this, they are like that. But you've not moved close enough to know how exactly they live their lives. So for pastors who may be listening to me right now, if you've gotten married to your wife and you know she's a God lover, do not put undue pressure on her as a pastor's wife or on your children. As pastor's children, you're a pastor's child, you must behave this way. You're a pastor's child, you can't be found here. If that continues, that wife or the children will rebel at some point. They will rebel like, please, I've had enough of this. As long as the man continues his role in the house and is a role model, all these other things will flow ceaselessly. So that being said, so to my businesses now, I was encouraged to continue with what I was doing. And during our journey, our missionary journey from one place to the other, we were moved to the US in 2018 was when we transferred to the US. And at this point in time, there was this persistent cough that my husband kept having. And I told him, I said, this cough has to stop. It can't continue this way. We need to go to see a doctor. Of course, he fought it. No, you'll be fine. You'll be this, you'll be that. And after some time, he yielded. And I said, because I know if we go to the conventional hospital, we'll be given conventional drugs and they would have side effects. Let us see a naturopath or a functional medical practitioner who believe in food to heal. I wanted us to heal with food because I knew something was wrong. The cough was unusual. So by the time we got there, she checked the blood pressure. That one was over the roof. And did blood tests. There was diabetes present, the blood pressure, of course, and then the heart was enlarged. So she placed us on foods immediately, and I supported him. Of course, I was cooking the foods, so I had to eat. So he's not the only one. So I was taking the foods as well with him. And from there, I started doing different kinds of research. What can we combine together, add this and this to make sure this, because I observed that the naturopath we were seeing wanted us to keep coming. So when I had questions, when we had appointments, and I would ask her, She will tell me we've not gotten to that part yet, and she wouldn't answer me. So I was getting frustrated. Like, we pay you every time we come for an appointment, over $200, and I'm asking questions and you don't want to give me answers to them. So it was from that quest that I want to know more. I want to know how best to cater for my family, that I went into health and wellness coaching, to the point where I got certified as a health and wellness coach. So I'm currently certified as a health and wellness coach, and I focus on diabetes mostly, and weight loss. So for people who, it's not just food, losing weight or even reversing diabetes is not just about food. It's a synergy of different things. You combine lifestyle with it, you combine peace of mind even, and even spiritual roots are also there. So it's not just food is a very great part of it, but that is not all. So that's the difference between health coaching and just nutritionist. The nutritionist just gives you, okay, eat this, that, and give me your feedback. But with the health coaching, is holistic. It's not just one aspect that is being looked at, but your lifestyle, your stress level, your sleep patterns, your habits, your daily habits. So these are the things that are put together to make the person a better person. And so that's that aside. So I'm a certified health and wellness coach. The need of my family brought that side of me out, and I'm grateful to God for that. And also, when we got back from the US to Nigeria last year, and after that time, I started making zobo. I started
Wait,
because I have started.
because you told me that you sell Zobo, and
Yes,
that what this is Bishop Oyedepo's daughter-in-law
yes,
to me.
yes. So, um, so I there was someone who was doing this in the US that I was going to partner with before we were moved. So we're just getting started on partnering and delivering to stores when we were moved. And so, because that had been born inside of me, and I'm thinking, am I just going to let this vision die just like that? No. And I have a healthier way to make this without the sugar and all of that. Something that we can also drink as a family. Because my husband used to like drinks, fizzy drinks, sodas, and everything like that. So what can we do to replace this that is healthy, it's guilt-free, that we're not thinking, this thing is going to haunt you in future. So I worked on it, came up with the recipe, and then we started making it like that. Word of mouth, telling people to taste here and there. How is it like? What do you think about it? Give us your honest opinion. And when we got a few people to taste and they gave us, oh, adjust this, oh, it still needs a little bit of filtering. And that's it. We came up with it and we started producing it to sell. Although it's not on a big scale yet, we're just getting started because we need to still get some licenses, some registration done. And that's why it's not marketed on a big scale yet. But yes, I do that as well. I sell Zobo as well. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it as well. Another thing I do is also skincare. So um, when we were in the US, we were trying as much as possible to take out um, many things, many conventional things. Of course, we could not do everything all at once. Like we know this kind of pot is not good for cooking, for example. All right, so which one is the best for cooking? Okay, it is so and so amount. Let us begin to replace it little by little. We know it's not good. This is where we're moving from here, we're going here. So also with skin, with foods, that's what we started to do. So with skincare, we decided, let us go with shea butter. And then we started using shea butter. We got shea butter. They started using it. And we would melt it, mix it with the oils that we wanted to use, and let it solidify back. And that was it. So one day we looked at it and I was like, this thing is very good for our skin. Oh. Why not also let people know about it? And so that was where the body butter was born from. Okay, this is what we use. And then we started producing that as well. So basically, yes, that is Ayomitide. There's so much. There are many compartments, but this is just a little bit about me, ma.
God bless you and bless you and bless you.
Amen.
Uh, since you and I connected, it's been quite a long time, some years
Yes,
now.
yes, ma.
Ooh,
Yes.
you're such a dad, and you
And
know it.
you've been so much of a blessing to me. Sometimes I don't think, well, some people would know I'm a very shy person. I am very reserved. I prefer to work in the background. I really don't like to be known, and all of these things is, I think, will be due to self-esteem. And it was when I got to know that it's self-esteem that I began to work on it. And I started listening to a lot of your messages, a lot of Mommy Adenawa's messages, and also Miles Monroe. And one of the things you said that I can never forget was that shyness is not a gift, it's a gift or fruit of the spirit. The day I heard that thing, I said, "Ee."
I mean, like the Bible now.
I said, so when I'm about to, if I have to speak somewhere, by all means, I remind myself, you have to go there boldly. Shyness is not God that gave you the spirit of shyness. You don't gain anything or represent God by playing small. And then one of Mike Murdoch's books, he puts there that, have you ever seen God snooping around? Shh, I don't want anybody to know what I'm about to do. No, God does not snoop around. He does not tiptoe to do whatever he wants to do. And he's your father. So all of those things, listening to things like that over and again, and remembering that statement, shyness is not a fruit of the spirit. It's not okay. Okay, so I tell myself, Ayomitide, shine is not God that gave you this. You don't look like God if you are doing this. You do not represent it if you are doing this. And so that's how I began. I started to come out of my shell gradually.
Oh,
So I really thank you for that, ma.
you're welcome. Ayomitide, thank you so very much.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All the questions I asked you, before the program started, I think you have answered.
Yes.
But married to a famous family, a popular family, tell us about it. How does it feel? Does it make a difference?
Okay, so it does make a difference. Um, it the name alone makes that difference. It makes a difference in a good way and in a not good way. In a good way because there are certain doors that would open to you because of that name. And not in a good way because, for instance, when we got married, um, maybe like a year into marriage, I mean, even from the time we got married, there were all kinds of demands from people.
Mm.
There were all kinds of demands. I think some people felt, oh, as soon as she got married, even from my parents, the pressure was much. Um, all of Daddy Oyedepo's billions are in her hands. So you get people calling me, I need so and so amount, I need this and this, I need that and that. And what many people do not realize, what many people do not know, if they listen to Daddy Oyedepo very well, they will be able to pick it up. But apparently, people hear what they only want to hear. Is he he's bringing us up in the way that I worked for mine. I served God for mine. I walked with God for mine. Go and prove this God. We started, my husband and I started our family the way any normal family would have started. Any normal graduate from school and another graduate, someone who has worked a little, started. We started from the bottom. We didn't start with any financial help from anywhere. Aside the wedding gifts we got, that was it. So when I now have people calling me, oh, give me this, oh, send me this, and I'm telling them, these things you're asking me, I don't have it. I don't. There was one I had to tell, the God you serve sees if I have this, and I'm refusing to give it to you. I don't. And from that time, even up until now, she doesn't talk to me. Because I think she believes she has it, but she just does not want to give it. Oh, she has changed. Oh, she has this. So one of those days I sat down, I thought to myself, this surname, is it, I know it's a blessing, but yes, because if it wasn't for the surname, the things that people are demanding from me, they wouldn't be demanding that kind of thing from me. It was huge. So, and it was from all directions. So like, give me this, give me that, do this for me, do that for me, buy me a car, build me. I'm like, what? What? So calm down. I don't have these things that you're asking of me. We are starting our lives like the normal family. We are growing like the regular husband and wife. He is working and he is being paid a salary just like every other person is being paid one. So that part many people don't see. But of course, the good part also is that, oh, because of the labor of mommy and daddy, there are certain doors that open. Like, okay, this is this person's family. These are their children. For that reason, let us do this for them. Let us open this door for them. Let us allow them in for them. But yes, so yes, that is how it has been. Even up until now, that is still how it has been. Still demands that are unrealistic that we can't handle. It's not that one decides I want to be stingy. As much as you can give, you are giving, but still some people are never satisfied. They still come and feel everything daddy owns, his children have access to it, and that is not the case.
This is deep. Some of you just joined us. That's Ayomitide hugged before, and that as we speak, she sells Zobo. We spoke days ago, and she told me this, and now she's made it public. Entitlement mentality is a sickness.
Yes, it is.
If I say time,
It is. I know nobody owes you anything. It's there are many opportunities if we want to see them. There are many things that we can do. One of those messages that I listened to while we're in the US, it was from Dr. Miles Monroe of Blessed Memory. It was like, you have an oven in your house and you are saying you don't have money. Do something with it. Do something with it. It was when he said that I thought to myself, I used to bake when we were in Abuja. When we served in Abuja, I had a bakery. I was baking cakes. I went to learn how to make cakes. This was before we started taking health seriously and reducing sugar and all of that. And it was doing very well. So I thought to myself, I can't bake cakes anymore because I can't be preaching health and be telling people to patronize me for cakes. Now, for those making cakes, I'm not saying you shouldn't make cakes. We all still need cakes. We have weddings, we have birthdays. We would always need cakes. But I had decided, okay, I'm telling people to take care of their health. I should not also be the one feeding them with kid. What else can I do? And I started making granola. I got oats, real organic rolled oats. I had pumpkin seeds with it, chia seeds with it, and some dried fruits, apples, dried fruits, and some spices, cinnamon and everything, mixed it together, and that was it. I started making granola with that. It was from that message. So, like you said, Matt, the entitlement mentality, you have to work. You have to, you have to do something. And as a woman, you don't want to depend on your husband for everything. You know, you say that a lot in your messages, that get to the point where even as a woman you are respected by your husband because you bring something to the table. Not that, oh, so I'm married into this family right now, let me just sit down and do nothing. No, it doesn't work that way. You would waste away. Even if you do that, you will waste away. And there's more to life. Life is to be enjoyed. And what God blesses you with, what you work for, you can't just be controlled and told you must spend it this way, you must spend it this way. No, it's like, come. I'm not a liability here. I'm bringing something to the table. So yes, as a woman, you have to do something meaningful with your life, because it's not, you want to surprise your husband, for example, and you're collecting money from him to surprise him. What kind of surprise is that? What kind of surprise is that? So that's it. You want to buy things for your children. It's not until your husband gives you every dime before you're able to get things for your children. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so very much. Parting words, what's your opinion about domestic violence?
Huh. Domestic violence is something that should be frowned at by everybody. And I think parents also have a lot to do with this. The way parents live their lives and children see, because when you give birth to a son or a daughter, you're not just giving birth to a son or a daughter, you're giving birth to somebody's husband. You're giving birth to somebody's wife, somebody's father, somebody's mother. So I think it also depends on how they are trained, how people are trained, what they see happening back at home. Most people think my parents did it this way, I must also do it that way. No, it shouldn't be that way. My father and my mother, the way they could settle, the way they understood themselves was to hit themselves. And so that must be the normal way it is done. No, that's not the normal way it is done. So it is wrong for anybody, any man, or even a woman, because I know some women also hit their husbands. It is wrong for anyone in a marriage to raise their hands, to hit, not even slap, should be done. It's something that should be frowned at. And I also believe that whoever is encountering it should speak. Because I really don't know what many people are hiding and covering. Of course, when you are burdened, you do not speak on the shoulder, on the ears of a parrot. I'm not asking you to go because I'm saying speak. Then you decide that because the weight I'm lifting is too heavy, let me talk to a parrot. No, there will be people in your life. There will be people that God has positioned around you that your discussion is safe with, that they will not betray you, and that they have solution. Because some people, their own is just to hear. They can't do anything about it. They won't repeat the matter, but they can't do anything about it. Some people can hear about it and they can do something about it. Those are the people that you should speak to. And I also want to use this time to tell people, especially for those who are not yet married, that never get married to a man or a woman who has regard for nobody. Because when situations happen in the family and there's nobody that spouse respects that you can talk to, then you are in trouble. There has to be somebody that your spouse is submissive to, that after you've spoken and they wouldn't hear, you can carry the matter to them. This and this and this are the things happening. So if anybody is going through domestic violence, speak to the right people. Don't think, what are they going to say? Everybody thinks we are perfect. Everybody thinks we are this. How will they see me? How is the church going to handle it? Are they still going to allow me do this? No, because all those things don't count inside the cemetery. They don't count in the grave. They don't count in the grave. So they should come out and speak to the right people. Again, I'm emphasizing that. I'm not saying just don't just come on social media and bring your case before the whole world, but speak to the right people. They are there around you, and God will open your eyes to see them.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so, so very much for
Thank
tonight, Ayo. You blessed the family.
Thank you
And thank
so much, Ma.
vulnerable. Thank you for pulling back. I'm sure everybody saw something tonight. And you are so beautiful, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Give our love to Pastor Isaac and my adorable children. Let us bless in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much, Ma.
Reading,
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma. I'm super grateful. Thank you for the honor. I thank God for your life, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Some people are asking, how can they get your products and all that? If they go on your website or what?
Okay, so I think they can send me a DM, and then from there I can direct them on what to do.
Okay.
Yes.
At Ayomitide Isaac Oyedepo. You saw it on my page. So don't forget, everybody, the template. That's a very special mentoring program that I have 2 days, 6 hours, 2 days, 3 hours on each day, October the 2nd and November the 6th. Go and register. Go on my website page from Felix-Adejumo.org and register. You're going to thank me for that. Till next week, when I'm going to be, I'm going to interview. Let me let you know. A queen. She's married to a king. How does she cope in the palace? That's the person I'm interviewing next week.
Wow.
Ooh, navigate with FFA. Once again, thank you, Ayomitide. We love you so much.
Thank you so much, but I don't even know how to sign out.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I learned this. Okay, everybody, good night.
Good night, Pa. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. So you can watch this for the next 24 hours on my Instagram page, and then I'll move it to YouTube, everybody. God bless you all. Please have a fantastic. Bye.
Bye, Ma.
Bye.
Bye.